Chasers, what is up? We are back, baby. It is Wednesday on another episode 6-9 of Goose Chasing. Hot
All
damn.
right.
That makes you a little warm in your pantalones, doesn't it,
Hey,
Dino?
perked me right up.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe, it doesn't seem like we've been podcasting for that long, but that's a lot of episodes.
Certainly it is. Yeah, I don't feel like that either. I feel like we did maybe 15.
I was going to say 6, 7,
Baker's does.
8. I don't know. But we are back for episode 69, brought to you by TAGNBRAG and TAGNBRAG Productions. Also brought to you by TAGNBRAG Apparel. You can get some of the beautiful apparel that Dino was rocking on our website, tagnbrag.co.
I didn't really even mean to do this, to be honest.
But you did it.
It just
But you did
naturally
it.
happened, and I was like, man, look at this fit.
It's time for hunting season.
Back of the hat.
We've got a lot of neutral colors on there. We've got obviously the TAGNBRAG black and orange on there, but we've got a lot of neutral colors. We got a lot of grays, we got a lot of greens, we got some tans, stuff that you can go hunting in.
Love that.
You want to
neutral, solid color.
You want to rep the T&B while you're in the woods and support your boys. We'd love to have you. TAGNBRAG.co. Also, you can get the Make Hunt Camps Great Again merch on there as well, which, we are in the middle. Well, we're not in the middle of hunting season, but a lot of seasons are opened up at this point. More seasons are opening in the coming weeks. So Make Hunt Camps Great Again. Hashtag it. God bless.
You can shoot deer in solid colors. You can do it.
You can. I do.
I do it.
I did.
I did it too.
Yeah, Dean didn't believe me the first day we went into this. We were in North Dakota opening day, and he's like, "What are you wearing?" I'm like, "I'm wearing these solid Wrangler. Like they're kind of like they got give to them, you know. They form to you, and they got give.
They got zipper vents.
They got zipper vents. They got side zipper pockets, and it's a lighter pant, and for this time of year, I don't know, it's just easier."
No,
deer are not
hot.
seeing if as long as it's solid neutral colors. You got a shade of green on, you got a lighter shade of gray, or a middle tone shade of gray on, maybe some light browns. You're good this time of year. You're good. There's so much foliage. There's so many shadows.
You're right, man.
Get your ass in the shadows and
Don't
shut
move.
up.
Shut up and sit still.
I need to take note of that because YouTube is popping off with some comments about your boy moving around too much.
About you moving around too much?
Yeah, and talking.
I mean,
you make these videos, you move around so much, and you're talking. The deer in my area, I would never shoot anything. It's like, yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this 30 minutes.
Before
I'm not doing this at sunset.
Right, exactly. I literally just popped up into the stand. I'm giving you a synopsis of what my scenario looks like so that you can come on the hunt with me. Yeah. Relax, and Karen.
It's situational. If you're in at the edge of a bedding area, we're not doing that.
Right.
You can hear our voice changes. We're very slow moving, quiet. In North Dakota, when there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind and you can see 3 miles, you can talk as loud as you want.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not exactly right next to you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So shut up.
There's times where like a combine or something will be going off in the distance, and it sounds like maybe that's at times sounds like they're close, but other times you're like, that thing's got to be a mile away. Like you're binocling for it, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, it's the next section over, you know?
Yeah.
But my point is, that thing's a blaring diesel motor.
Yeah.
And with the wind and stuff, so you can chat in your stand in North Dakota and you're fine.
Everything's gonna be
fine. But yeah, there's spots, if whatever that guy's talking about,
Sit down and shut up.
Maybe he's in the bush or wherever you're at, and it's always quiet. Yeah, you can't do that. I was doing a video yesterday. Transition to the next thought.
Segment.
I was doing a video yesterday on my phone, just changing trail cameras or making a mock scrape, and it was so still. Like I had to leave the side by side going just to keep that
Keep the noise.
mix
Yeah.
up. But I'm like, man, I can't talk loud. Like I feel like there could be a buck within 70 yards of me,
Yeah.
and there might have been.
But you know what?
But yeah, my point is that's a situation where we're not like throwing our arms around, talking like Italians and yelling.
Yeah. Very situational, and just just enjoy the video. Come along on the hunt with us. You don't have to complain about it.
But to the guy's point, like if you want to see deer or get close and to any wildlife, if you just be quiet and sit still, it can and will happen.
Going back to the solid colors, if you're still in a tree,
yes,
they're not. Right. The deer are picking, in most scenarios, the deer are seeing you because of your movement.
Correct.
When
very correct,
they're coming in. Deer are very keen on picking up any movement. That's why you see more mature deer navigate the bush differently than younger deer, because they've seen movement before that has caused them danger. And so they walk a little bit, they stop, they scan, they search. They're probably looking for if anything in the vicinity looks different than it did the day before, then they're kind of going to be like, light bulb, what is that? But if you're moving, especially, so that's why screwed. Well, I mean, that's what makes self-filming so hard, because self-filming requires movement no matter what. No matter it requires movement. You got to move the camera to get on the deer, and then you have to figure out how to get your weapon in, like, ready for another, for the opportunity. So that requires movement. And if you're hunting with a bow, if you're self-filming with a bow, that is all happening in close quarters.
Yeah.
So,
and deer, their eyes are on the sides of their head. So they can when they're walking by and you're like drawing, that's why a lot of people draw on the deer, like they're walking straight, but they just whip their head around and look right at you. It's because they can see that.
Yeah.
Like if a human's walking, they're not like, you kind of can see out of your peripheral, but like directly 90 degrees is something can move and you might not see it.
Sure.
So don't be torquing your bow over your shoulder while he's walking. Gotta be looking away.
Let him pass you.
Like a turkey.
Let him pass you.
Make sure that buck's fan is blocking his eyes.
That is, I mean, it's all, like you said, it's situational, because movement can happen at the right times.
Oh, yeah.
You have to anticipate when you can move, and then you have to really anticipate the shot, and then when you can move to prepare for the shot.
Correct.
But it can happen, and it needs to happen. You can't just be like this.
I can't move my neck.
I can't move anything.
I mean, if they're staring at you, you have to be a statue.
Well, yeah, you do. But if they get to that point and you're not ready, if they get to that point and you're not ready, well, then you weren't paying attention.
He snuck up on you.
You were scrolling through TikTok.
I've had that happen before.
A time or two.
Quite a few times.
It's a bummer when that happens.
You're just like, oh, it's the worst.
Is there any worse feeling during the hunt than when a buck, or when whatever you're after, gives you the old base of the tree look, middle of the tree look?
Gotcha.
There he is.
I mean, it's Maverick and his freaking joystick, just like, and all of a sudden he's just like,
Missile lock.
You're locked.
That's not real. That's not supposed to be there.
Chester's dead.
Chester's dead. Chester's dead. And if you're not at full draw, sir, you are now screwed.
I have
Better
seen a
luck next
couple.
year.
I've seen a couple videos of bucks being missile locked on someone, and they're not drawn, and then you got to make a game time decision. And
You give it
they
the
just give it the whip it back, just turbo back, and then sometimes it works.
yeah.
Like it's got to be where in New York that's not working.
I agree.
But sometimes they're in such a weird mood that maybe
it's just the scenario, because if they come through and they're like locked on a doe,
yeah,
and it's him and the doe, and he picks you off
and she doesn't.
and she doesn't, and she's not going anywhere. I think you could do literally whatever you want at that point. Not whatever you want, but you could do a lot of things at that point and get away with it.
Kinda.
He's not running from her.
Last year, I was trying to stalk a buck in Ohio, and he knew I was there. He was like 40 yards, locked on the doe. Doe didn't know I was there, and I was just trying to get. I had no cover. I was in the middle of the hardwoods, up against basically a fallen log and a tree. He knew exactly what I was and that I was there, and he was like, "I'm not trying to come closer to you, but I'm not leaving this spot."
He gave it the old what's it called from oh my gosh, Leonardo DiCaprio from friggin' Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving.
All the while, he's probably in his head going, "Gosh, damn it! I gotta choose between getting shot and getting some ass."
Yeah, any other day, I'm not coming anywhere near this guy.
Yeah. Any other day, I hear a stick break and I am in the next county. But today, Susie's feeling extra frisky.
She's smelling ripe.
So we're going to stand here, see what happens, and hopefully give her the beeswax.
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah. Well,
forbidden fruit.
We had another hunt come out on our YouTube channel. Little bonus hunt from North Dakota. Didn't expect to do that. We're hoping to do that. Kane finally got his tag on literally the day that we were packing up to leave North Dakota, and we ended up pivoting. We ended up hanging 2 more XOPs as opposed to after we took them all down, really. And then Kane shot Dean's bow for like a couple hours, got dialed in with it, was actually shooting it really good.
Yeah, and honestly, wasn't even that long.
No. I mean
the first arrow, literally the first arrow, I'm like, well, if you get comfortable shooting this thing, we're not going to shoot more than 20 yards tonight.
Right.
Like, that's just what we're going to do. It's not your bow, so we're going to make it. And we start at 20 yards. Literally the first arrow is in the 2-3 inch circle, like right in the middle of it. And I'm like, this kid.
This little Jasper.
So yeah, we shot a couple rounds at 20. I mean, he was on the money, loving that thing, dude. He was like fist pumping as soon as he was shooting that Hoyt. He's like, this is fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's been shooting a very older Hoyt and a youth model.
Yeah, with like a whisker biscuit and
right.
I mean, not saying those are bad, but like he just
kid's 19 now. He's a big burly
setup.
dude. He's over 200.
The bow may or may not have fit him before.
Well, yeah, he definitely outgrew his old bow for sure, but
yeah, anyway, he was within an hour. This kid was crossing T's and dotting I's at 40 yards.
Literally.
I'm like, my God, I can't. Your leash is getting longer.
Well, the cool part was seeing his excitement as
shooting the bow.
Kept shooting good, like as he kept shooting good.
Yeah, and he was like, I could see how this gets addicting and fun. He's like, this is fun. I want to keep doing it.
Right.
Which was awesome, but it was cool being able to go out there knowing, like, I'm like, man, I'm fully confident in him getting it done tonight.
Right, right. And the crazy part was, I mean, not the only reason, but one of the major reasons that we did stay for that extra hunt is because we had a camera that multiple bucks were daylighting on, like, multiple days prior to that, leading up to that point, and the beans were still super green in that area, and it was the coldest. Honestly, it was the coldest evening of the whole trip,
Yeah,
and so we just
chilled
felt
down.
really confident that if we could get Kane comfortable shooting Dean's bow and then get them both in the tree together, um, that we had a pretty good opportunity. And lo and behold, we did.
Lo and behold, we did.
Saw about every buck on the block that evening.
We saw a boatload of deer. Honestly, it was a blast. There were deer in every direction. Like
Literally
we
every
would be like, oh,
direction.
there's two more doe. There's two more. It was crazy.
And
Non-stop.
just an awesome hunt because all the deer came out with plenty of daylight. Like
They're all out in the field. Yep.
most of them came out and the sun was still like on them. So yeah, it was, and
Man,
it's funny, like on our YouTube channel, this video is live now, but like, every buck that comes into the field, Kane's like, oh my god, what are we doing? Holy shit! And then like the one that we're after, you guys saw him early. I mean, it was real early, like, and I would have been at that point. I would have been like, oh, it's on, like
oh
he's
yeah,
coming.
we thought it was. We thought it was, and it honestly, it could have been. We had one young little, like a small 8 point. I don't know what it was. 30 minutes prior to that, 30 minutes to any prior to any deer being out on the field, he came in and I don't know what happened. If he caught a whiff of us or he busted us somehow, I don't think he saw us. The wind kind of switched when it shouldn't have, and he just got a whiff of us. But he went back in a slew and came out shortly after that, and he just didn't want to come back in our direction. And when all the rest of the deer came out, they just stayed right out in the middle of the bean field. They were just like,
Yeah,
we didn't have a care in the world. They stayed. That particular field was still very green, and there
very
was
green.
other bean fields around, like literally surrounding us, and they were not. They were turning, and I don't. The deer they went out literally right into the middle of the bean field, and they just
Just
had nowhere or no urgency to go anywhere. Just I got my food and I'm staying out here.
yeah,
Nothing's coming near me.
and if it does, I
They
can
like to
see
do
it.
that out there. Like even in the October when the corn is cut, it's like they get out into the middle of the
Right.
field and they're just like, then now we're good.
It is pretty wild. Like you notice, and last year specifically, on a couple different occasions, we noticed that like they come out of the trees or they come out of a slough, and it's almost like
Let's
they
run
run out into the middle,
to the
and
middle.
then
Yep.
they get to a point where like either
They're
the
far from everything.
yeah, and the food is the best there,
Probably.
and
Yep.
so they're just like, all right, we're good.
We're
And then there's
comfortable.
like 10 other deer out there, so they're like, we got
Turkey
20
heads.
eyes. Yeah, we got 20 eyes. We're just gonna hang out here and we're good.
Yeah. It's definitely,
So
if you think about it,
makes sense.
that's what I would do.
I would do the same damn thing.
But yeah, I still thought it was going to happen. That it seemed like at times that wide 8 point wanted to like head towards our tree row, and then he would just hold up and head down pounding beans again.
Yeah,
So it didn't happen, but it was a blast. We saw so many deer, and I got revitalized with Kane's enthusiasm and excitement.
yeah,
And
yeah. No,
it
that
was
was
cool. If we had a few more days, I think we could have potentially got it done. Or if Kane orders his tag when he's supposed to.
because if we were out there the couple days prior, might have already been done.
Yeah.
But cool, good hunt and the trip on, that's for sure.
Oh, it was awesome. Awesome.
And it was well worth the extra time and effort spent, going in
Yeah.
there to hang the stand and Kane shooting the bow. I mean, I literally, the house that we were staying on at, I'm like 700 or 800 yards away on the back porch with the big lens on the camera, and I'm watching a lot of this. Like when you guys, a lot of the footage that you guys got in the tree, like I couldn't see those deer. It honestly wasn't until they came into the middle of the beans that I could really see them. But I could see the tree that Dean and Kane were in. So I'm like binocling the tree. And if they would have come up the tree line, I could have literally watched it all go down. And that was part of the plan. So I had a good hunt too. I was just kind of sitting back, enjoying it all. I'm watching deer, work through the beans, and a couple of the smaller bucks came up the tree row, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, oh my god, this is insane,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool hunt to end on that one. Once again, there's some doucher on YouTube who's like, I can't believe you guys didn't let him shoot that younger buck. Like, he's a young hunter. You should be this, that. And I'm like, bro, it was his decision.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't.
he could shoot whatever the hell he wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
But we were like, there was also a couple of the bucks that we were after literally in the field at the same time.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like, did you not catch that? Like,
Yeah.
did you not?
Yeah.
That was displayed pretty well throughout the footage, but somebody's always going to have something to say. So
That's funny.
I'm just like, I had to comment back to that guy because I'm like, dude, that's what you gathered after this whole hunt? Like, that's what you got out of it all?
Yeah, where do you get that?
I mean, the only thing I could think of is like that deer the last one that came up to you guys, and then he kind of bounded off into the beans or whatever, and that it ends with you saying like that'll be a good one in the next year or two. But that's just how we ended but Kane had no intention of shooting that deer.
No, he got no.
Also, if he did, he would have. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't holding him back from shooting anything.
No.
At that point, it was like, dude, shoot a spike if you want to. I don't care.
He asked in the stand, and the 8-point was out, so I was like, if you want to shoot him, you can. Like, it's up to you. But
right,
I could tell he didn't. That's not the deer he wanted to shoot.
Right.
Right. So. But
YouTube comments will be YouTube comments. Gotta love them. Scratch your ass and go comment on somebody else's shit.
My goodness.
They'll find a reason. They will find a reason. Now, we got Ohio opening up this Saturday. We got Tennessee opening back up this Saturday.
Wow.
New York opens up
Tuesday.
Week from week from yesterday. If you're listening to it. Week from today, if you're us. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, this time next week, the seasons will be in full swing, and we'll be going full tilt.
Yep. Content will be rolling.
It will be full on rolling. So that's kind of crazy. We got an XOP hunt coming up in Ohio in a couple weeks. Going to Kansas at the end of October. Oh, what did he say? That's right. We're going to Kansas at the end of October. Looking forward to that. And we got Rut Week. I mean, yeah, the season is gonna go by so fast. You just gotta enjoy where your feet are. You gotta soak in every moment, and
flies.
It's gonna fly. I mean, it's insane to think that we are like essentially 3 weeks out from killing those deer in North Dakota.
Crazy.
Dude.
Flies.
I mean, especially it's at least 3 weeks. It's almost a month.
Yeah, especially because this, like, a deer season there's so many phases of it.
Yep.
That you always look back and you're like, man, that part of it, or like, oh man, I wish I want to hunt the pre-rut again. You literally have like, I mean, what do you want to call that? 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever. Like, I get it. You can say it's now, but it's not. This is a different phase. And then in another week, it's a different phase. And then the next 10 days is a different phase. So it goes, when you break it down like that, it literally hauls ass by. And there's times where you can't even hunt a phase because you got life,
Right, you got stuff to do. Yeah, so
So you
you're
miss one.
skipping a phase and you get back into the woods and then you're
like, holy crap, it's already over. It's already this phase.
right.
And it just flies.
Well, and if you're like, I mean, we have opportunities to hunt more places now, but a majority of the hunters out there, they're hunting a single property or maybe a piece of public land or what, like they're not bouncing around as much. It's like this is where they have to hunt. And so even more like the phases of the season are contrast even more on like a single piece of property because you know that pre-rut phase could happen give or take a week or two earlier or later than it may generally or whatever.
Yep.
The full on rut could be full tilt November 2nd through the 5th, and then you don't see a ton of rut activity after that because
No.
maybe the does on your property are bred and now those bucks are moving on. So
Yep.
you've got to take advantage of the here and the now when you've got it. And we always say this all the time, but like we want or we think we can like plan our seasons out and script them, and you can't.
No.
So if you've got an opportunity to shoot a deer that is on camera on opening day because that's what the most recent information is telling you, well, guess what? Go fill the tag. Because in November, he may not be there. Or a buck may not be there. Like it doesn't
Or it's
matter.
going to be a different one. It's
or
just,
yeah, or exactly. It's
there's just
going to be a
new,
different
yeah.
one, and yeah, you've got to take advantage of what the season gives you at the time that it's giving it to you, and not worry so much about scripting out your season. And I think
Like, I'm going to wait on this one, and I'll try to get him late
later.
season if he's there.
Yeah, I mean, outside
And
of
sometimes it happens, but
right, but even outside of the factors of the actual like of nature, working its course throughout the whitetail rut, there's other hunters in the woods. Like that buck could be dead at that point because you didn't want to take advantage of it at that time, or
yeah.
I mean, and that's yeah. So stay where your feet are, folks. Just enjoy the season and enjoy it for what it is.
Be present.
Be present. That's why I mean trail cameras have become such a integral tool for us specifically too, and hunting multiple different states to try and help us tell us where we need to be and try to take advantage of those specific times because they are so valuable.
100%. Most recent information.
I saw a podcast with Cody DeQuisto the other day, and he was talking about trail cameras and how he kind of got rid of them
Because he said it ruined it. He was getting too trail camera-y.
right.
And
Yeah,
he already had the information he needed.
He was using them as a crutch as opposed to like,
and
yeah, utilizing the information.
I fall into that too. Like it's and I'm trying to get out of it more, but it's so funny when a deer isn't on camera like for a couple of days and you're like, where did they go? Maybe they went somewhere, but in all likely they probably didn't.
Maybe they walked 4 feet the other direction and went behind your camera. Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, and to his credit, like reading the sign
That's
in
proof.
the woods, that's proof of
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have proof of what that was, but you can, by the magnitude of the sign, you can gauge or at least make a pretty educated guess on what it could be.
Yeah. No, they don't. You can't bank. Yeah, some people are literally like, I don't have anything on camera, or whatever.
Right.
I can't hunt that property because there's nothing there. It's
Because
like
there's nothing on camera.
you haven't exhausted it. I'm not saying there's nothing there. Well,
If
first
you-
of all, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but you gotta go find it.
Well, yeah, if you have not put in the work to like at least move a camera or something, or if you've just got your cameras in the same spot that you've had them since like June and you're like, there's no deer there, then I'm sorry. You're not
You gotta
putting in
put some
enough
work in.
work. Yeah, you're not putting in enough work. I don't
They
care.
shouldn't. It should be different in that amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. If you're
Like,
still getting, if you're still getting stuff on camera, then that's kind of abnormal, I would say. But yeah, you've got to be willing to shuffle your cameras a little bit and put in the work. Like right now, I mean, a lot of the cameras, at least you've been moving cameras up at camp, and they might still be on food plots and stuff like that, but they're on scrapes now.
yeah, edges of I like the best is edge of the food plot on a
On a
scrape.
scrape.
Yeah, because you
'Cause
kind of get the
then
best of both worlds,
right, right.
and that's yeah.
But it's crazy, like, you moved the one camera last night and put pre-orbital out and literally just mocked a scrape where there normally is a scrape. And by this morning, there's $3 on that
That haven't been on
scrape.
camera in a few days.
Right, that haven't been on camera in a few
Yeah.
days there, and they're on that scrape now. And mind you, we didn't have it. We had a camera on this specific plot, but it wasn't on this area of the plot, and it wasn't on this scrape.
And
And
the
you
plot's
literally
not that big.
the
I mean, it's
plot's less
maybe a
than an
half
acre.
acre. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
less than an acre.
got size to it, but you think you need, you can
One
see it on
camera on this plot, and it's going to cover everything.
the same thing. We have this big ridge top, and there's a camera up on the top. There's actually 2 logging roads that there's actually a little path that connects them in the middle, but there's a point where they don't intersect, but they almost touch. They're like maybe 20 yards apart at one point, and then they kind of widen back out. But the camera was mainly on one of them, but kind of on the little path that connects the 2. And I knew that one specific buck was, or a lot of these bucks are traveling back there. I'm like, why aren't they randomly? We'll get one on camera.
Yeah.
Flip it to the other side, the other road, which is 20 yards away, literally from the camera. It's maybe less than that. And in 4 hours, that buck is on camera in the daylight.
I mean,
so you just got to move your shit.
Yeah.
If it's not being effective, you got to do it.
Well, but if you think about it, it's effective either way. Because if you're not getting what you need, then it's telling you,
right,
move your shit, go find what you need. And the most, like right now, sign wise, obviously rubs, like you're going to see a lot of rubs right now. These deer are trying to feel their oats.
Yep.
They're out of velvet now. They're hard horned. They're trying to strengthen them necks up and stuff for the rut. Like you're going to start seeing fresh rubs and stuff like that right now. And to go with that, any scrape that has been a scrape of choice in the years past, I would be putting a trail camera on it right now.
Yeah.
And you can use what you want. We utilize code blue for our scents and stuff like that. You put the pre-orbital up in the branches yesterday and just a buck urine.
Yeah, I just did.
Just to say, like you said on camera, there's another buck in here that you don't know about. And now that buck should say, I got to come check this every once in a while now, just to make sure old boy is,
gone, or it was a one-time thing or whatever.
At bay, just to keep them at bay,
Yeah.
And especially the more mature bucks, that's gonna be a light bulb to say, I need to check this out. This is my area. I need to just monitor this.
Yep.
And in literally less than 24 hours, you can already see that happening, at least specifically up in New York where you shuffled some cameras yesterday.
Yeah, because they spent time like in front of that one particular.
Oh yeah, there was like
scrape.
3
You could
videos
tell they were
of
trying to figure out noses in the dirt, like who the hell is this?
Well, and they weren't like pawing the scrape, like they weren't destroying the ground or anything like that, but
it's a little early for that.
Their nose was in the branches and their nose was on the ground, and they were definitely like, We've been in this plot like most of the summer.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
Who's this? But it makes sense right now because deer shift around and new deer come into areas. So
Yeah,
it's
you
not
just
like the
gotta
deer
play the
know that's
game.
coming. Yep.
Right, yeah, you gotta play the game and shuffle it with them.
Yep. Agreed.
But that's, I mean, right now, guys are picking out spots for this weekend here in Tennessee, up in Ohio, and then, it's going to be coming to pick your opening day spot for New York, next week. What are you utilizing? Are you utilizing the sign? That's probably first and foremost, but if you're utilizing trail cameras and you're not seeing what you want on trail camera right now, go move it. And
Yeah.
I would move it to some sort of a scrape that you know of. If you've got one that you know of, I would definitely move it there. Like that would be the first inclination. Move it
Yep.
there, put some buck urine out, pre-orbital in the branches if you got it, and let it soak for a couple days.
Yep.
You're gonna know within 4 to 5 days of
Yeah.
if he's still there or not. Okay, if he's not, then move it
if
again.
there's bucks or a good buck like around right now and he's hard-horned, there will be sign of that
Yeah,
somewhere.
for
I'm
sure.
not saying you should go bonsaiing through a bedding area or something like that, but around field that you should see sign of something along those lines.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, if you've got food plots or if you've got a field edge that the deer utilize, like they're still packing on the pounds. They're feeling their oats and they're rubbing trees and, like I said, getting that neck strong or whatever. But ultimately,
They're eating.
they're doing that on the way out to a
Yeah.
destination, like some sort of food source where they're still packing on the pounds
Yeah.
because
They're eating right now.
yeah, even for the next probably 3 weeks or so,
For sure.
they're gonna be
Pounding food.
about that life, and it's gonna shift from, probably the green to acorns are already starting to fall down here pretty heavily. I'm sure they're doing the same up in Ohio.
Yeah, they're raining.
Um, so that is gonna be a shift, at some point, but yeah, they're
The food is most plentiful right now, as it will be for the whole year.
yeah, you're right.
The green is there. The the tree the tree nuts and tree fruits are all
Dropping.
available,
Yeah,
dropping, whatever. Ag fields are they're all edible, but some are sought after, some are not, but there's just the food's all there right now.
yeah, everything, nothing. Some cornfields have gotten harvested down here already, but still, if the ones that have, there's corn remnants out in the fields too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's in New
everything that they
York, there's a
need
lot of silage.
that's
Silage
getting
corn
cut,
got chopped, already did, yeah.
and that's going to shift things around too.
Yeah, if deer were using that as a bedding area or whatever, just cover in general.
Right, bedding area. I mean, I think that the deer will bed in the corn, situationally. I think more than that, even they utilize it as travel cover, and
Definitely.
they navigate those cornfields like we don't give them credit for
Yeah.
to get to A to B, and
It all
it
depends
won't
on the size of the
of the corn.
corn.
Yeah, for
If you
sure.
got 10-foot corn, they'll lay in there.
Yeah,
If it's
if they
shade in
can
there.
get in the shade, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, if it's 5 or 6 foot and it's starting to thin out now, they'll walk in there all day.
Oh, all day, dude. But now once that cornfield is cut, okay, now their navigation is changing completely because they're not going to just blaze out into a wide open field, at least to walk across it. Like they're still going to use the cover. So
Reroute on the Waze app. You just added
there is
7 minutes to your destination.
there's a
Bridge out.
crash. There's a crash reported ahead. Here's the quickest detour.
There's a cornfield out in the south pasture. You can either go right through it and risk your life,
Or Take a left. Take a
detour
left at the
around.
fence post. Take the lower, more bush route, if you will.
They're gonna take the bush route.
It's exciting stuff, though. I mean, we're here. It's here, baby. It's here. There's no. I mean, obviously, you've gotta prepare mentally now. But if you're not prepared at this point, I hate to say it, you're behind.
You're behind.
You got to catch up quick. You got to go look for that sign quick.
It's in New York right now. It is on. Like when the leaves are changing.
That's wild.
They're changing. Like it's not like, oh, there's a tree over there that's starting to change. It's like, the highways, the back road highways are colorful.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. No, it feels like it's on. The corn's
Got to get up there, man. I got to get up
spots,
there.
Corn's just starting to change colors. Beans are changing colors. But yeah, it feels very fall-y. Bunch of apples on the ground.
It smells like fall.
People are putting out their pumpkin stands, put $5, $10 in this wood box and take a pumpkin.
Oh, goodness.
All fall sorts of stuff. But yeah, it feels it up there, that's for sure.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You got to soak it in, folks. You got to soak it in. And just, we've done this before. You put so much pressure like on one specific deer or on just the season in general, or like all of a sudden a deer that you were after dies or something, another hunter shoots it or whatever, disappears. Like, it's out of your control.
It is.
It's out of your control. So like people get so up in arms about he's gone.
I haven't seen him in 10 days.
Hey, let's take a deep breath.
That's life.
It's life. It's nature. It's out of our control. Like, is it going to ruin your whole hunting season? The hunting season hasn't even started yet if you're in Ohio or New York or Tennessee. It hasn't even started yet. So are you going to rip that away from yourself before it even gets here? Come on. We don't have control of this, people. Control what you can control and keep grinding until you get what you're looking for. And you know what?
Amen.
It may be the buck that you're looking at right now. It might not be. It might not be. Stop trying to script the damn season. And if you do, I hate to break it to you, it's going to be a frustrating season for you. It's just going to be. Because it's not going to happen how you script it. It's just not. You know who's the only one who knows the end? That guy up there. Big man upstairs. He knows the end right now. So let him work and let it happen and enjoy it.
The guy's sitting in the third floor loge up there.
Looking down on you, laughing because he's like, this boy's getting all up in arms about this buck that ain't going to be here in a week and a half. He ain't going to shoot him this year. I hate to say it. It ain't his year to shoot that deer. His neighbor's going to kill him. He's going to get an opportunity in December at a really nice buck he ain't never seen before. But he don't know that yet. I know it, but he don't know it. But he's all up in arms about it.
Got to keep his head in it.
I'm going to try and talk to him, keep his head in it, but it's ultimately it's going to be up to him.
Because if he don't get his head right, he's going to blow that December opportunity.
Exactly right. That deer's going to step out and he ain't going to be ready.
And then he's going to be having a tough go at it for all of January.
And really all of the next year, because that's going to be his opportunity.
And his wife is going to feel the best of it.
Oh, that's funny. But it's true. So just enjoy it. Enjoy your feed art. Enjoy the season. It's just underway. We're just getting started. Let's go through this together, but ultimately stay on that grind. Control what you can control, and let the rest take care of itself.
I like it. God bless.
God bless everyone this weekend. Good luck. Shoot straight. May the arrow fly true. If you don't already, you got to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're going to have content flying out the yin-yang. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We'll see you right back here next week on Goose Chasing.
To review the first couple days if we've been at it.
Oh, we'll be at it.
God bless. Be safe, everyone. Be safe. Don't do
And
anything stupid.
May the arrow fly true. Control what you can control. That's it.
Love it.
We'll see you next Wednesday.